So, hello guys, hello everyone. Welcome to today's session where we'll be discussing about the evolution of AI, and I have a wonderful speaker here with me. So, before we go on, I'd like to do some brief introductions. So, my name is Amaka. I'm the co-founder and CEO at Beta Copper, and I also have with me here Daniela. Daniela, who happens to be our guest. Daniela is She's the co-founder and COO at Copianto AI, which is very interesting. And before we go deeper, we also have Anita here as well. Anita is also the COO at Beta Compass. So we'll go straight to it. Won't keep you waiting. But if you have your questions, you can go ahead and drop them in the chat, and we'll pick up from there. Right. So Anita, would you want to say hi before we kick off?
Yeah, most definitely. Hi, guys. Welcome to the Evolution of AI, an event by Beta Copa. It's good to have you here. Please subscribe to our channel, follow us on social media before we start. Try to get this out of the way. So let's get started. Thank you so much, Daniela, for accepting to be a part of this. I think we are anticipating everything we're going to learn from this event today. Thank you so much. Yeah, Amaka, we can
Oh,
proceed.
all right. Thank you, Anita. So, Daniela, starting off with you, I would like you to introduce yourself. I know I gave a brief intro, but please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay.
Okay, sorry about that.
Um, Please let me know if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Is it any much better?
It's not any much better, but at least we can hear your voice, so it's fine.
I feel like there's a lot of like feedback from my end. Please clarify like everything else.
Okay, we still have the background sound on your end. One music. I think the other place was better than where you are currently.
Right. Okay.
Okay, guys. So while we wait for Daniela to get settled in,
Okay. So first of all, so sorry about this. I happen to be in a very like loud background and I was trying to move around, but it seems it's not really helpful and given the time, so I can't really like relocate to another place. Apologies for the feedback, please. So a bit about me. I'm Daniela, Daniela Darlington. I think it would be good to put my camera on a bit. If am I visible? Yes, so my name is Daniela. I'm the co-founder of Copianto AI. We are an artificial intelligence platform that helps organizations to build and deploy their own AI technologies. And yeah, it's more of like a conversational search, so an out-of-the-box kind of solution that you can easily like plug in and deploy for your own use cases. And I actually have a background in law, so I got a law degree in the University of Ghana. And also, I have a background in software entrepreneurship, software development, as well as business development. Currently, I'm also like an affiliate at All Tech is Human, which is a think tank based in the US. And we are advancing like responsible development and deployment of artificial intelligence technologies, among other like technologies. So, advocating for more. Humane technological developments, recognizing that humans are the center of every technological innovation and ensuring that these tools that are built to benefit them rather than to harm them. So that's the bit of my background, and I'm excited and I'm very thankful to Amaka for reaching out, presenting the opportunity to like talk about this exciting area. So I'm looking forward to like an interesting conversation. Yeah, thank you.
all right. Thank you so much, Daniela, for that. That's That's a lot, but then it's very interesting, especially since we are in an age where AI seems to be evolving pretty fast. So I would like to ask, what actually sparked your interest in the field of AI, that's artificial intelligence, for those who do not know? Hi, Daniela, can you still hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
All right.
So, my interest in AI. Okay, so let's come take it a bit backwards. So, I actually have been very interested in legal tech for a while. So, I was learning how to code. Once I was done with law school, I started learning how to code by myself, and I decided that it would be more interesting to like venture into legal tech. So the goal was to like hone my coding skills to be able to like deploy tech solutions. And I ended up going for like a boot camp. I was enrolled in a boot camp. It's based here in Ghana. It's called Maximiansa IT Solution. I was there for like about 3 months, full tech, learning everything related to tech, etc. And so yeah, so basically growing my interest in the area, learning how to code, and I eventually met my co-founders in an accelerator program based there in Ghana. It's Melt Water Entrepreneur School of Technologies. I went through the entire like year-long program, trying to just like start my own company. So it was within that space that we ventured into the space of AI, trying to solve like a problem within that space.
Wow, 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 wow. So it's more like you coming on from a law background and going into tech, then moving all the way up AI. That's very interesting and daring at the same time. So well done, well done, well done with that. It's kind of okay, yeah. So let me not divert a bit. I wanted to say that most people feel like law and tech would have no relation, but so far you have proven that you can move from being a lawyer to not just moving into the tech field, you can even go as far as going into AI, and you have trained and learned along the way. So that's very very impressive, right? So so basically, in your journey of moving from being from the legal part of from the legal profession to the tech world, what would you say are your like key experiences or mentors who must have shaped your approach into AI? Because, like you said, you went from being like teaching yourself how to code to going for an accelerator where you met your co-founders.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so I actually ended up like meeting my co-founders at Mist, and my colleagues had like their own challenges. They had like various challenges in how I think one of them was running his own um, agency, more like a digital marketing agency. And he was mostly like working with like creating content for clients, um, and I think the challenge was more of like how do you scale that and be more efficient, especially when you have limited resources. So that was how we started like researching into areas of how can we like come up with tools that will help you to like create content, um, and all those things. So I
Oh, okay.
guess hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. It's like okay. The background sound became louder.
Oh my gosh, so
Can you
sorry.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I think I got the feedback that it's quite loud.
Yeah, it is. I think the other one was more preferable. All right. Um. Okay. So maybe you can just switch and come back. So okay, once you're back, please let me know so that we can continue. All right. So while we have Daniela trying to calm the noise. So guys, if you have any questions, please go ahead and drop your questions. I know that we have heard so much about AI, and then there's also the myths we have where people say that AI is for dull people, basically. That if you use AI, you're not to be rated because we don't trust what you do. So I think I know a lot of you have that in your mind as well, and most of you do are still thinking how best do we utilize it, right?
Hi, Amaka. Please let me know if it's any much better. It seems the noise cancellation app that I installed is not really working on the device.
I think this is much better. It's not so loud, but it's okay.
Okay, great. Sorry. So
Okay.
I think there was something that I was talking about, but maybe there's a question that I missed. You can take it on.
Okay, yeah. All right. So I asked that. So you went for moving into from legal to the tech profession, and then you went all the way to AI. So like, what was fascinating about AI and the application you're currently working on? Because you talked about Capuchino being an AI app that's used for helping businesses build conversation. So, what was fascinating about this, or what was challenging about working on something like this?
Yes, I think you got the name wrong. So it's Copianto
Sorry.
AI.
Okay, Copianto. All right. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Copianto. Yes, so I think it's more, even I am like, that's an interesting question because I didn't really think that in a year time I'll be working in the area of like AI. I was
Okay.
mainly focused on like how to build my own legal tech because my background is actually law. So I was looking at areas where we can enhance like the legal industry with um, technology. So I wasn't really so skilled towards like whether it's going to be like an AI technology enhancement or it's going to be other like other software that could enhance our work. But then I think when I met my colleagues and my co-founders, we found like a very interesting area and gap in that space where we thought, wow, and AI too can actually help you create content, help you like put together your strategy document, pitch deck, write emails, and it was really fascinating. So what we did was to like delve more into like a research and then speak to a lot of people to like really validate whether this was an interesting problem to solve. So we were engaging a number of like agencies, freelancers, copywriters, and all those people in that space. And that's how come we I went full into the AI space. And yeah, I was also like meeting like joining communities like the Google NLP, other like AI communities just to like learn more about the technology because we are in a very fast paced industry and you need to like have a lot of like um, capacity to catch up. So being part of these communities like exposed me a lot to some of these emerging AI technologies here.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So I like where you're going to, but I'll come back to this particular one about productivity later on. So let me just move to this part where so next question, next thing we like to talk about is okay. So that's passions and inspiration. That's for, let's say, for how I don't pronounce this wrong. I think Copichano. Yeah, you said it's more about productivity and what's how it fastens work. So why this particular one? What passions and inspirations for this? Because now we have a set of people that believe that using AI makes you dull, but then we have you working on something like working on the AI itself to help people achieve tasks faster. Yeah.
Right. So I think the bit about productivity, I think it's more of like what the approach that we were looking at. Basically, you realize that um, our life also revolves around our career, our work, and the things that we do to bring us fulfillment and all. And sometimes, like if you're working, you want to ensure that like you're giving your maximum output and being efficient. And so, looking at organizations like these and employers are looking for employees that would be more efficient, more productive, and this translates to like increased growth and revenue for businesses, right? So, how do you solve some of these like productivity issues in our workplaces, even in our personal lives? And that is where you come from the approach of okay, technology can actually enhance some of the mundane tasks that we do. So we now look at how do we use technology, AI technologies like this to ensure that businesses are more efficient. So currently we are focused more on enhancing like business operations and helping organizations to build and deploy their own AI tools like virtual assistants. So now you can use like Copyanto to easily like train all your organizational data and have deploy it as either a search bar or a conversational search interface. And this is actually going to help a lot because most of organizations are creating so much information, and this information are scattered and stored across different data sources and silos, making it more difficult and time consuming to retrieve these information. So with our platform, we are helping organizations not just to be productive, but also to also like translate to other areas as their internal efficiency, workflows, even externally how they offer top-notch customer support to their clients and all those things. And these eventually like impacts your business revenues among others.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. You have a point there, a very strong point at that. And okay, so moving on, right? So how is AI impacting various industries and aspects of our life today? Now you talk about the part of it. So how is it really affecting the industries and then our lives? Because you spoke about the productivity and how it enhances business. What else can we look at when we're looking at AI?
Yeah, so this is like very practical. I'm sure you've used like a number of like AI tools for your own work, and you can relate to how it makes life much easier. Even look at
Yes.
other industries. Let's even bring make it more practical. These days we have like self-driving cars. There are even innovative like solutions where AI technologies are able to make diagnosis of diseases and like make recommendations, help with like um,
Yes.
and all those things. So looking at other industry verticals, you look at the automobile space, manufacturing, all these areas, AI technologies are being used. When you even come to e-commerce, you normally with your favorite e-commerce platform, they actually use a bit of like predictive analytics and other AI models to determine like customer behavior, preferences, and then give them personalized like solutions. And even when it comes to like travel and all those things, AI can actually like help with like creating like itineraries, recommendations, ensuring like a seamless like self-service. You can even have your own personal AI like chatbot that is more like your um, buddy. It can provide you like with advice, therapy. I think even recently there are like influencers who are who are actually providing their own data and training another AI model on it so that it can
Wow.
mimic them and all. Yeah, there are actually like some of these like advancements. So you realize that the impact is like widespread, and I would say aside productivity, I feel like it's also like helping making life easier, like solving critical problems in within the healthcare space, in the agriculture space, in the automobile and all those things. And then there's also like the increase in um, like revenue and growth, like the general economy. If you look at how like AI is impacting a lot of businesses, we are increasing like efficiency. So where there's like efficiency, there's also like likelihood that businesses can meet their goals and also like hit their revenue targets and all those things. So yeah, I feel like there's a broad practical ways that AI is here to like impact our lives amidst a lot of skeptics and all. But yeah, it's here for good, and we should also like look at the positive aspects, but also while not forgetting to address the negative bits, like the ethical considerations involved, among others.
Yeah, now that being said, it actually brings me to my like next aspect of this conversation. So we have so many ethical considerations and potential risks associated with the use of AI. So how do you think we're going to work around that? Because we have a lot going on. Yeah, there's even I think there's a I won't call it a rumor, but there's this talk about the fact that AI will take over the world and will kill humans and all of that basically. So, what? How do we consider this now? Because now I think your profession gives you an edge here, coming from the law legal part of it. So you can go on.
Yeah, in as much as I'm from the legal bit, I'm also like also innovating in the space. So I want to be very mindful of some of the things that I want to say because like the area is a bit like advancing and there are lots of like technologies that are coming up that needs like a bit of regulation in that space, right? So I
Yeah.
think for ethical considerations, we have to look at how do we build these AI technologies that will benefit like we human beings and not harm us. So looking at responsible deployment of AI, and to do that, I think there are like even some propositions. Let me do more of like the African context. So I think there's like
Okay.
there's a cybersecurity. I think is it Malabo Convention? Yes, the Malabo Convention on data protection and cybersecurity. They have like rules and like regulations on how to govern like people's data, privacy, access, and all those things. And also there are like other like the national level countries are like coming up together with like AI policy documents on how like developers, innovators, entrepreneurs should go about with developing and deploying these AI technologies so that their risks are mitigated. Because if technology gets into the wrong hands, it could potentially like be very
Cause harm.
detrimental to the whole of humanity. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's where auditing comes in. So like where we have like regulation compliance structure where any organization that is building and deploying AI technology must meet some compliance like and acceptability criteria, right? So they are like there are lots of things that goes into these conversations, but I believe once we have like a bit of structured regulation towards how these technologies are being built and deployed, it can help a lot. And yeah, and I think another bit would be more of like on the company wide or for the entrepreneurs or innovators in the space. We always have to have at the back of our mind that when we are building technologies, these technologies are for humans. We're not building technologies for the fun of it. We are actually building technologies that will impact people's life. So we have to like consider our internal values and then also the values of the people for whom these technologies are being built for. So ensuring that there's like fairness in the tools that we are deploying, that these tools are accessible and the usability is like good for anyone, like anyone from any background should at least be able to like use and interact with these technologies, and also getting feedback from the people that we build these technologies for and involving them in the development process too as well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a very nice point because there's this saying basically in tech and in the world that most times developers, designer, whosoever they are, we aren't the users, so we are going to be very considerate and then conduct enough research to be sure that what we are building is actually solving a pain point and not creating more harm. So I think that means with what we have said, we are saying that AI will go forward and if things are put in place, we might likely not see negative aspects of it, right? So it means so what are the like predictions for the future of AI? What do you see AI doing? I know right now we have a bot that won what's it called, the chess game. We have a bot that I think an AI bot that passed the medical exams, like, and then we also have the driving car. So what else do you see AI solving? Because I feel it's really going to go wild. Not wild, like, but it's going to go very far, basically. So what are your predictions for AI?
I think sorry, can you like repeat the last sentence since I lost that?
Okay, I said, so what are the predictions? What do you predict for AI in the future?
Oh, right. So I know how we watch a lot of science fiction stuff, movies, and all those things, where you see like
Yeah.
AI being functional. Like obviously we have robots around these days, but like going to the point where a robot can actually think and act as similar as humans, like deploying them around. They could either be working in your office, like having these like robots sitting in office, working, collaborating, and actually although we've not really gotten to the point where robots are actually like mimicking human interactions and all, we actually have like people deploying virtual agents, like you were talking about. People now are actually integrating like virtual agents into their customer service support, even with what we are building at Copian. So you can actually like build, like train all your organizational data and information and deploy it as either a virtual agent or for customer support, or it could be uh, a co-pilot for your sales, can help you with documentation. You can actually ask it any questions, get feedback. It's like we are moving from the bit of like, chatbots where it has like preset questions and moving it to the conversational AI bit. And I feel like there will be a lot of like advancement in that specific niche, because now like data is like being collected every day. Like you personally, you are creating data and you might not really be so mindful, but your data is being collected by all the applications that you may be using, technological applications. So they know you very well. They know your stuff, like, and that's how you get like personalized recommendations. Sometimes I'll be talking to a friend about something, and then the next time I'm on Instagram, that same thing is popping up in my feed. That's how like I feel like, yeah, everybody's listening to you and all, and it can get a bit scary because now you're wondering who has access to all my data and all my information, and what are they using it for. And I think that's where it gets a bit more um, important for us to like now look into how we can regulate these things and be like, you have access to your information and you control how this information is being used. So I see these areas becoming much more like very interesting and a bit of worry, because you can now like deploy your own like AI persona. And you know how I was talking about how people are like having AI
Yeah.
training AI
Yeah.
on their personality and data and information. Now you might not really know who exactly is a real person or an AI on the internet. You might be interacting with an AI application or version of a human being, be thinking this is an actual human being. Uh, Also, you can even have like, there could be a bit of like fraudulent and cybersecurity issues involved, like where there's impersonation. Because now, if I am able to like, I think that there are like these image generation tools where people upload their faces, gives them like a whole AI avatar
Yes.
persona of them. And you know how people are using those for like their CVs and their profile on LinkedIn and all. But have you
Yeah.
thought about like in the future? Now people like these companies are having access to millions of faces, and who knows, they could like use your image for any sort of thing. They could use your image to create a whole full blown persona who is actually speaking and talking like me, and you might think it is a human being behind it. So I see like a lot of like like interesting advancements, and with the way like AI is fast paced, um, the deployment of like large language models, like training of these things are becoming like very common. So you find a lot
Yeah.
of these things popping up. Like a little child can easily like create their own AI and deploy it, because now in 10, 30 years time, AI will be like something that is part of our daily lives. So yeah, aside these like areas, I feel like there are a lot of like concerns, and that's where the ethical and regulation bit needs to come in to like ensure that these things don't eventually like harm us as individuals. And yeah.
Yeah. Okay, because with that said, that brings my mind to something. So I think there was a particular video I watched where there was a phone call. They basically trained the AI using someone else's voice, and then they used her voice to call her dad. And like more like the call came in that she was being kidnapped and they needed money, and the dad kept requesting that he wants to speak with the daughter, and they gave the phone, like let's say you literally pass the phone to the daughter, but it was an AI bot that was trained. So after the conversation, they requested for a particular amount of money. But for some reasons, he said he wanted to call the daughter's phone number first before he went ahead. So when he called her, she picked up and he asked her where she was, and she was like, she was home and all of that. And he was like, but someone called, and then she was like, don't bother. So it now brings us to the ethical part of it,
Yeah,
that
yeah. I mean, those are valid.
yes, and we also have the, I think there's
It
also
gets
another
scary,
one.
right?
Yeah, it gets very scary, especially even with the data aspect. Like, it's like you can't chat with someone peacefully. It feels like there's a breach of data going on. You can't just send a message to someone about a particular thing, and then the next thing you open Facebook or Twitter, whatever it is, you're seeing that particular ad staring at you, and it's like, "Ah, how did this just happen? What's going on?" And all of that. So I would like to take some questions for the chat before we go on. Okay, so someone Favor is asking, how easy was it for you to combine both AI and law together? I think you went into AI after law school or before law school, basically.
Oh, okay. I was checking through the chats, but I didn't really see. I think the chats are coming to you, right?
Okay, I'll make it. Let me just display it on the screen so that you can see it.
Oh, okay, okay, that's
Can you
fine.
see it now?
Yeah, 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 yeah. So
Yeah.
how easy was it for me to combine both AI and law? Okay, so actually I was through with like law school before I ended up venturing into tech. So I am not really like practicing law at the moment. I am mainly focused on my startup company and other like initiatives that I'm working on. Yeah. So there wasn't so much of like I need to balance the two. But I think when I was in law school, I started learning how to code. That was where my interest for like coding started. So I was trying to like learn alongside studying, but I realized it wasn't really like helpful because law is very demanding. You can't honestly do other stuff. It will affect your grades and all those things. So I guess it's more of like maybe if I were to be in that position where I was um, going to combine both my law studies with like venturing into my entrepreneurship, I would want to focus more on finishing my school and then like progressing to do the entrepreneurship full time. But I guess if you are like a multitasking, you know how to balance your time, you can always like do both of them at the same time. It all depends on like time management. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Favor. I hope that answers your question. There's also another question here. Okay.
And AI used to be, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think the number of like AI tools that are used for that, well, I'm not that technical, but I guess there are like AI tools that helps you like organize, like collect data. I think I came across one startup that basically they work with like data scientists, researchers, and ML, like machine learning people. And what they do is to help you to like gather like data and draw like analytics and inferences from it. So I'm not sure the exact use. Maybe I'll have to do a lot of research over there and like get back to you in terms of like the specific tools that can help you, AI tools that can help you do that. But maybe you can also do like a simple web search and see if there are like some interesting tools that you want to consider.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Daniela. Yeah, so just like Daniela said, there are tools that can do that. It's just left for you to find them out. I remember us having a course at Beta Copper where we taught about building back end using AI, and that was a very interesting session. I think it was a live session. So I believe like a lot of, we had more for engineers, so we had more back end engineers sign up for that course, and they learned a lot from it. So you could probably check that out on our website or watch out for when we would have a live session like that going on again. Then okay, we also have okay. Yeah, I know this question was going to come up. It's unavoidable basically. All right.
Okay, this is an interesting question. So honestly, I feel like as humans, there are a lot of like things that could potentially replace or make us job insecure. And aside the advancements in AI, aside like technology, there are other things like your organization can eventually not have the capacity to employ you, and they would be looking at like those who have the highest skills to help them like manage or improve their processes. But let me just go back to the question in terms of whether AI is going to replace people. Well, it's in two folds. I would say AI is going to replace specific jobs and tasks, but it can't necessarily replace humans in the sense that there are some things that humans are capable of doing, like reasoning, emotions, and all those things. That feel is not really there in terms of using AI. But then when it comes to like specific tasks and jobs, such as the bit of like now you even have like virtual agents that are providing customer support. These are like tools that like make things like easier and faster for organizations. So organizations are looking into how they can integrate these AI technologies to cut down operation costs and all those things. So what I would say would be, why don't you position yourself in a place where when your organization is adopting or investing in these AI technologies, you become that resourceful person that they come to be like, how do we like implement this technology? Because now you are like abreast of this technology, you know how to use these virtual agents. If it is maybe the coding or technical bit, you are very like resourceful and relevant. So more like we like upscaling. There are a lot of like generative AI and introductory courses to artificial intelligence that you can take and improve your skills. So you can actually like be up to date with these technologies. And if you check your industry or niche and you feel like, oh, in 10 years or 5 years time or even the next year, these are like some technologies that could impact my business. So how do I like upskill and improve myself so that when these technologies come, I'll be like in control or be a valuable like asset in my organization. But for things like customer rep and sales and all those things, we've seen a lot of like virtual agents coming up, but it's always not just the virtual agents. You always also have like the human field. So before you even train these virtual agents, for example, at Copianto, we help organizations build and deploy their own AI apps. And these AI apps need data. And who collects those data? It goes back to the human person. That's the employee or whoever is working the company. So that's where your relevance comes in. Like data collection and improving. And even when you even interact with some of these virtual agents or customer support apps, conversational apps, you still need like a human being to um, answer like other questions and all those things. So that's where like I feel like there's a bit of like intersection. AI may not necessarily take all your job or role, but you just have to like position yourself to be a relevant useful asset either in your organization or your personal life. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So I say that a lot that AI is not like jobs that AI will take are for people who have refused to like upskill themselves. The meaning to keep upskilling yourself, at least you are one step ahead or two step ahead, and that makes it difficult for you to just drop off the chain like that. So the next question here is saying with AI, with how AI is going, do you think AI can override human intelligence? Now, this question is quite tricky because following it up, hello Daniela, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes. I'm listening to your own comments on that.
All right, because this is quite tricky, right? We're saying can it override human intelligence? It's still same thing as saying that just like you, Daniela said, we don't have the emotional part of it yet attached to AI. So taking over the human intelligence might be quite. I don't want to say quite difficult, right? The industry has its stakes, and then we're watching it, so we'll just have to see what comes out because at the end of the day, it's being trained on human data. So that's one thing we have to take note of. But completely overriding the human intelligence, I'm not sure about that. It was built by men. So yeah, it's something we can not see for sure. So Daniela, what's your take on this? Can you hear me? Hello, Daniela. So I think she can't hear us because there's yes, this question is now leading us back to what is the fate of people who use whose AI is taking over their jobs, because we can't all be in the tech field, but tech is taking over all industry. Yes, very true. Now we cannot all be in tech. We cannot all come into tech fields because what would happen to the medical industry, the fashion industry, entertainment industry? So that's one thing you have to look at. Like we said stated earlier on, AI is about helping us improve, is helping us do things faster. It helps us with productivity and the likes. So the best you can do is learn how AI will help upskill your industry and then use it in that way so that it does not feel like you are not doing anything, and by the time AI gets to your industry, it's more or less throws you out. Because if you look at the way VR is going, reality, there are certain shops you go to and then you want to purchase certain things. You're even at home. All you have to do is wear your Oculus and visualize how it's going to look like by the time you get this and have them in your sitting room. So these are things you have to put in mind as well, because if you are one step ahead, you have if you have learned or studied how AI can help improve these things, it's just easy for you to keep going because like Daniela said earlier, it's going to replace certain jobs but not all. So you just have to find out how AI is going to improve your industry. Daniela, can you hear me now? Hello Daniela,
I
can you
think
hear me?
she's still offline.
Oh, okay. Anita, do you have
Yeah.
anything to say to this?
Oh my goodness. Like I've always been worried about the legal implications of AI because it feels like every single day there's because every time you write a prompt, it doesn't matter what you're writing about. For example, I'll use generative
Sorry, I
AI.
think I lost a bit of connection, so maybe there was a
Oh,
question I might have missed it.
Oh, all right.
um,
There's a question, but let's just wrap up with Anita, then I'll see the question over again so that you can take it up.
yeah, yeah. Like I was saying, every time you write a prompt, generative AI, generally speaking, every time you write a prompt, you write a piece of information that is personal, intentionally or unintentionally, because you're trying to get like accurate feedback, like the best feedback you can get. Again, like we said, it's garbage in, garbage out. So you give a little piece of yourself, and that information is kept somewhere. So where like that line, when do we cross it, and how sure are we? Again, that we are going to be safe with all these AI tools coming up. But then I'm glad that we have a lawyer on board, so some of those questions have been cleared. I'm really happy for that. Yeah, but we are literally giving ourselves away. Yeah, with every prompt, and it is what it is. AI is a friend. It's a tool, and tools are to be used. Of course, we err on the side of caution, as always. Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess that's it. Fascinating
All right.
conversation.
Yeah, that's the conversation. So, Daniela, the question we're asking here was, okay, so what are the fate of people who AI is taking over their jobs? Because we can't all be in the tech industry, and then we keep giving out informations in the process of getting prompts that work for us. So, what do you have to say about this? Hello, Daniela.
She was here. She was just here.
Yes.
Yes, yes. I got a sense of the question. Hello,
Okay.
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, so I think for like job roles, I feel like there are lots of like jobs that could potentially be impacted by artificial intelligence. Like even look at the bit of customer support agents, looking at legal, honestly, even the law field, honestly, I feel like there are lots of areas where AI could actually potentially take away some roles in the law field. Because normally you're working on like legal research, drafting articles, drafting writs of summons, and all those things. Now we have like AI tools that can actually help you like put together legal documents and all. But obviously, we've not reached the point where an AI tool can make a legal representation and go to court and defend you. But who knows? We can. We There's a lot of like potential in that area, right? So and then you are looking at a bit of like automobile, like building and deployment, assembling of like um, these manufacturing industries. I think we already have like robotics like doing some of these things, and they are powered by like AI algorithms and all those things. So for I think it's very like practical these days. There AI is like impacting so many areas and like jobs, and yeah, it goes back to the conversation about we like upscaling and being like placed in a position where we are not replaced, but we become more like an asset to hone these emerging tech.
Yeah. So it's more like saying at the end of the day, we should look at AI as a tool, which is a means to an end. It's not meant to completely take over, but we're meant to use it to achieve certain things, right? Okay, so this question is saying when I think that there are jobs that AI would replace, there would also be a rise brought about the emergence of AI, and prompt engineering comes to mind. Yes. I think prompt engineering is a thing. It's not even a thing. It's an industry on its own. We're also we had a session on that, if I'm not wrong, Anita, on prompt engineering, where we teach you how to prompt and how well you can use AI to achieve certain goals. So it means that even with the emergence of AI, and we say people will be losing their jobs, a new set of people will be gaining new jobs. I believe so, Daniela. Because let's look at what
Yes,
you're doing
yes.
already.
Yeah, Amaka, you're so right. Honestly, like it's creating more opportunities and more like interesting roles. Like you already mentioned the prompt engineering thing. Like 2 years ago, who would have thought that that would even be a field for people to try like moving to or building careers in that. So yeah, there will be like in as much as it's replacing some roles and jobs, will also be creating like new opportunities and new jobs and careers. So, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I believe that that's it basically. So before we go, I think we have about 9 minutes left. So what would be your advice to those coming into the AI industry with what we have seen? What what are your words basically? What are your thoughts about it as we round up? So what advice will you give to anyone venturing into this path?
Right. So I would say we should all keep a very open mind, and also have the curious mind to explore some of these technologies. I know as humans we feel threatened by AI in a lot of ways, but then we should also consider like how would the world look like in the next 10 years, in the next 20 years, and imagining where the world is going. Like, how do you also want to be shape that kind of world for your own self? If you are excluding yourself from the conversation and excluding yourself from um, advocating for responsible use of AI technologies and all, it's going to eventually impact you one way or the other. So, in as much as you are like staying curious, learning about these technologies, also upscaling yourself, we should equally, like in our own way, once you get the enlightenment, um, like add your voice to how these technologies should impact your life, because you have a say in how the digital future should look like. And that, even if that could be in the form of like advocacy, or being part of like communities that are in like advancing some of these responsible deployments and developments of technologies. And then I'll also say that we shouldn't really be too conservative and scared about AI. AI is here and it's here to stay. And yeah, you should have that kind of like holistic mindset and approach. Um, if you think your work would be impacted in any way, we already started. Like, go and upskill yourself. You learn some new things that would help you to like be more valuable to your employer. If you are also looking in at starting your own business venture, you can identify what are some problems within your immediate surrounding that you think you could leverage these emerging technologies to solve. And at the end of the day, you are looking at the impacts, the positive impacts of these technologies on your life and everything. So yeah, we should just have like that humane approach to dealing with these technologies, and I feel like we'll be good to go. Yeah, that will be some of the things that are closer remarks that I think comes to the top of my mind. I tend to speak a lot when I have a lot of ideas bursting in my head. But anyways, I hope you find like enough value in those.
Yeah, we'll find our values with it. At least you have made certain points clear, and so far you have made us see that some things are not impossible, because there's this fear about the tech space, and for people who want to transition, they're like, what am I going to do? I fit in and all of that. And then we know that law, it's a very, let's say, a tough profession basically, and no breathing space and all. But despite reading law, you're still able to like find your way into tech, and you're doing quite well for making that, even though you made that transition. So at least some people have been inspired now probably to make a transition and not feel scared about the step that they want to take. And we have learned a whole lot about the Copianto AI. So guys, I dropped a link here as well. I also dropped Daniela's LinkedIn handle. So if you want to follow her, you can go ahead and follow her. If you want to check out what she's building, you have the link in the chat. Please do that as well. So I think even in the chat, we have Mike John giving us points that are key points. Like he's saying, let me just read this out. Say the way AI understand concept is different from the way humans understand things. So it's something you should consider when making assumptions. Humans' consciousness makes the difference here. Understand that artificial intelligence is a simulation of human intelligence, and it is very far from being perfect. So replacing humans completely is a stretch. See AI as a tool. To me, AI won't be able to overtake human intelligence just yet. I mean, Amaka has said its existence is very biased. I, okay, This should be your thought. I know it's resistant, it's very biased. Someone is training it to his taste based on data as well. Yes. Because I think when I heard Daniela said that it's being trained by influencers, the first thing that came to my mind is fraud, basically. Because I have seen a particular influencer cry out that there's a particular AI video of him advertising a drug, and he never endorsed it. That what's he going to do? How is he going to take it down? Because he has gotten some of his followers to report the page, and the page is still up. So that's another thing. But so far, we've been able to clarify our thoughts about the ethical aspect of AI. So I want to say thank you, Daniela, for coming on this particular session. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us. It was very insightful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Amaka. And I am so sorry about the background noise. I was trying my best to like find a quiet space, but I hope at least I was able to like share enough. And I hope everyone who participated also got some value from the discussion. Thank you so much.
Yeah, despite the noise, we're able to hear you, and at least we learned a lot from it. So at the point, I just took it as background music for the show, since we are not playing any sound for the event, basically. So thank you so much. So thank you for the speakers for an enlightening session. So I think so that's basically all. Thank you, Daniela, for being here once again. So before we wrap up, we'll just give a talk or two about what Beta Compi is and what we do basically. So Anita, should I leave that to you?
Yeah, sure. I'll do that. Thank you so much, Amaka. Thank you, Daniela, for such an interesting conversation. I'll definitely be coming back to rewatch this because the gems that were dropped are timeless. This will always be relevant. That's a fact, like for real. Yeah, so Beta Copa is an edtech company aimed at helping you upskill and reskill if you need to, with um, the relevant skills you need in the current com- uh, tech environment we live in, because tech is advancing every single day. And one thing about being in the tech field is you have to continue learning, because as soon as you miss a step, someone will take over and there you go. Because there's always updates to even softwares that we already know, softwares we already have. You find something new and then you have to learn it in order to stay relevant. And some of our crash courses have exactly that at the we have that at the back of our minds when we are creating these crash courses, to make sure we give you something that is relevant and something that will keep you up to date in the tech space. We also hold events like this one. We've had a couple of Twitter spaces. We had a couple of YouTube events. You can find them here on YouTube. Actually, if you subscribe and look through our channel, you will find the live events we've had, and same for Twitter, betacopa_ng. Favor, please, if you can drop the Twitter link, or Amaka. If you follow us there, you can also find out more about what we do. We're on LinkedIn as well, Beta Copa, and we are basically here to make your journey through tech a little bit lighter. You know, the bags are hard, earth is hard. Let us help you make your life easier. You can join our Discord channel as well. We have our WhatsApp group too, that is to keep you informed and just build community around you, because tech is not for introverts, like Amaka likes to say. It's for community, and since most of us work in, I don't want to say lonely, but work alone, it's very important to build community around yourself. So that is what the Discord community and the WhatsApp group does for us as techies. So yeah, feel free to join those and check out our website. And yeah, that's it about us. We're here to help you. So please feel free to send us a DM if you feel stuck or stranded, and we will help in any way we can. Yeah, thank you. Oh, please subscribe to this
Oh,
channel because we have a lot coming up, even towards the end of the year. So you don't want to miss it. We have a cohort coming up in January. You don't want to miss all those special announcements we have coming up. So please, wherever you find us, give us a follow and follow along on this beautiful journey that is tech. Thank you so much.
all right. Thank you so much for that, Anita. And also to add to that, we have live classes, like classes around AI where we talk about prompt engineering, classes where we talk about how to think like an engineer, how to productivity in designs and the likes. So once again, I want to say thank you, Daniela. I'm dropping the link once again, guys. You can go ahead and check out what Copantio does, and if it's something you want to explore, please feel free to explore with it. I believe it's something you'll learn a lot. So thank you, Daniela. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you
Yeah,
also.
you should be in the evening. I think Ghana is ahead with us with 1 hour.
Ghana is behind you with 1 hour.
All right.
We are one
Yeah.
hour behind. Thank you so much.
I thought we were anyone.
So we are 3 hours ahead of Ghana. Wow. See future living. Anyway, guys, have a good evening.
All right, bye.
Have a good evening. Bye. Go ahead and follow Daniela on LinkedIn. Her LinkedIn handle is in the chats. So bye, everyone. So also, guys, remember to drop a feedback for us. We have a Google form in the chat. Go ahead and drop your feedback so that we'll know how to improve on our events and what next we should have for you. Bye, everyone.